There is a fascinating psychological phenomenon in the global automotive world. Enthusiasts consistently lust after the very machines they are temporarily denied. For decades, drivers in North America looked across the Atlantic with intense jealousy at the high-performance estate cars roaming Europe, whilst those in the United Kingdom and Australia dreamt of the colossal ST, displacement-heavy muscle cars native to the United States. Today, the entire geographical map of automotive desire has undergone a violent and irreversible shift. We are no longer looking at Detroit or Stuttgart for the ultimate disruption in heavy-duty performance. We are looking towards the east. Welcome to Drive and RPM. Today, we are dissecting a machine that represents the absolute bleeding-edge pinnacle of luxury hybrid engineering. Yet, for many of you watching from the winding B roads of the United Kingdom, or the vast, sun-baked expanses of the Australian outback, it remains an untouchable technological phantom until at least 2028. We are conducting a forensic deep dive into the Lynk Co 900. This is not merely another large sport utility vehicle rolling off a generic assembly line. It is a profound mechanical manifesto. It is a vehicle that forces the established legacy automakers to completely reevaluate their understanding of mass, power delivery, and hybrid integration. The parent company, Geely, the exact same engineering titan responsible for Volvo, Lotus, and Zeekr, has strategically decided to withhold this specific flagship from right-hand drive markets for now. But here, we absolutely refuse to wait. We are tearing down the heavily guarded engineering secrets of the Lynk Co 900 today, exposing exactly what the global markets are currently missing, and explaining precisely why this heavy-hitting hybrid is causing emergency board meetings in the headquarters of traditional luxury automakers. When engineers are tasked with designing a full-size luxury vehicle, their immediate and most ruthless enemy is physics. Mass dictates every single dynamic metric: straight-line acceleration, braking distances, and lateral mechanical grip. The Lynk Co 900 tackles this fundamental problem not by attempting to shed weight with fragile materials, but by fundamentally altering how that immense weight is managed through its skeletal structure. This is achieved through the SPA Evo platform. This is a heavily modified, hyper-electrification-focused evolution of the architecture that underpins the safest vehicles on the planet. It is engineered from the ground up to absorb the catastrophic torque figures generated by a high-voltage hybrid powertrain without suffering from chassis flex. For our viewers navigating the aggressive corners of the Scottish Highlands or the sweeping coastal highways of North America, torsional rigidity is the absolute difference between a vehicle that feels like a wallowing boat and one that handles like a precision-milled instrument. The engineering team has integrated the massive structural battery pack directly into the core integrity of the floor pan. This completely transforms the battery from a piece of dead, parasitic weight into a vital, load-bearing member of the chassis. The resulting stiffness allows the suspension geometry to execute its job with mathematical perfection. When you throw a vehicle of this immense size into a sharp corner, the active damping system does not have to waste processing power fighting the twisting of the steel frame. It only manages the vertical articulation of the wheels. This creates an unnatural, eerie level of horizontal flatness, effectively masking the vehicle's true curb weight entirely. The true mechanical witchcraft of the Lynk Co 900, and the primary reason we are featuring it on Drive and RPM, lies buried deep within its drivetrain. It utilizes a violently complex system that moves far beyond traditional hybrid setups. The absolute crown jewel of this architecture is the 3-speed dedicated hybrid transmission, or DHT. In the current automotive landscape, the vast majority of plug-in hybrid vehicles utilize a simple, single-speed reduction gear that forces the internal combustion engine to drone at a constant, uninspiring RPM. The Lynk Co 900 completely shatters this mundane standard. By implementing a physical 3-speed gearbox specifically for the hybrid system, the engineers have allowed the internal combustion engine to directly drive the wheels across a massively expanded range of vehicle speeds. In first gear, the system allows the engine to dump raw, mechanical torque directly into the driveline from a standing start, working in violent unison with the instant thrust of the electric architecture to launch this massive vehicle like a projectile. As the vehicle gathers speed, it snaps into second gear, keeping the engine directly in its optimum power band for brutal mid-range overtaking maneuvers. Finally, third gear acts as a tall overdrive, allowing the engine RPM to drop significantly for hyper-efficient, silent cruising on the vast motorway networks of the United Kingdom, or the endless interstates of the United States and Canada. This multi-geared approach entirely eliminates the disconnected G elastic band sensation that plagues virtually every other hybrid SUV on the market today. To fully comprehend the sheer violence of this vehicle's acceleration, we must examine the beating heart connected to that phenomenal transmission. The EMP super hybrid powertrain, at its core, sits a highly strung, thermally efficient, 2-liter turbocharged internal combustion engine. However, the turbocharger's traditional weakness, the dreaded turbo lag, has been completely eradicated by the surrounding electrical architecture. The internal combustion engine operates in a state of constant, millisecond by millisecond negotiation with multiple high-output electric motors. For our audience in Canada dealing with brutal, ETA traction-limited winter conditions, or those in the US traversing immense elevations, this powertrain offers a masterclass in intelligent energy deployment when the driver demands full throttle. The system does not wait for exhaust gases to spool the turbocharger. The electric motors instantaneously dump their maximum torque payload directly to the axles, physically pinning the occupants to their seats with zero hesitation. While the electric motors handle the initial launch phase, the internal combustion engine is furiously building boost in the background. As the electric torque curve naturally plateaus, the turbocharged engine perfectly matches its RPM to the driveline speed and seamlessly engages through the DHT, delivering a massive secondary wave of relentless power. It is a deeply complex, dual-layered assault of torque that ensures the vehicle never feels breathless. You're left piloting a massive family fortress that accelerates with the urgency and ferocity of a track-focused sports car. One of the darkest, most closely guarded secrets of the high-performance electrified world is the crippling reality of thermal degradation and brake fade. A significant number of highly publicized electric SUVs can deliver mind-bending acceleration for 1 or 2 dramatic traffic light launches. But if you attempt a sustained drive through a challenging canyon road, the system overheats. The computers intervene, violently cutting power to protect the fragile battery cells. The Lynk Co 900 addresses this critical flaw with an industrial-grade thermal management system. Understanding that this flagship vehicle will be pushed to its absolute limits in wildly diverse global climates, from sweltering deserts to freezing sub-zero temperatures, the engineers implemented dedicated liquid cooling loops that meticulously isolate the battery pack, the power inverters, and the electric motors. You can demand maximum overtaking power repeatedly, and the EMP system will stubbornly deliver the exact same horsepower figures every single time. Equally impressive is how the vehicle handles deceleration. Relying solely on mechanical friction for a vehicle of this mass is an archaic solution. For our viewers commuting down the steep gradients of the Rocky Mountains or navigating sudden traffic halts on the M25 in the UK, the true brilliance here is the flawless integration of high-capacity regenerative braking. Milliseconds before the mechanical brake calipers even begin to bite, the colossal electric motors instantaneously reverse their function. They transform into high-output generators, harnessing the rotational kinetic energy of the axles. This creates an immense electromagnetic drag that violently slows the vehicle down, while dumping huge amounts of electricity back into the battery pack. The software blends this regenerative drag with the physical hydraulic bite of the massive brake calipers so seamlessly that the driver feels nothing but a perfectly linear, confidence-inspiring deceleration. To make a massive 3-row luxury hybrid handle with the precision of a much smaller vehicle. An engineering team cannot simply install stiffer steel springs. Doing so would completely destroy the supple ride quality that buyers in this premium segment demand. The Lynk Co 900 solves the handling versus comfort equation through a highly sophisticated multi-chamber active air suspension system paired with continuously controlled electronic dampers. This is a hyper-predictive network of sensors and hydraulics. As the vehicle approaches a high-speed corner, the central processing unit calculates the steering angle, the throttle position, and the lateral G-forces. In a fraction of a millisecond, the system artificially stiffens the dampers on the outside of the turn to aggressively resist weight transfer, while simultaneously adjusting the pneumatic air pressure to keep the chassis completely flat. For our community traversing the challenging coastal roads of Australia or the tight switchbacks of the American Pacific Northwest, this technology creates an artificial, almost magical sense of agility. The vehicle's computer actively fights the fundamental laws of physics, completely preventing the dangerous body roll that traditionally plagues a heavy SUV. The driver is rewarded with a level of mid-corner mechanical grip that is entirely incongruous with the vehicle's massive footprint. What we are ultimately witnessing with the deployment of the Lynk Co 900 is a violent paradigm shift that echoes across the entire global automotive community. It completely ignores the traditional limitations of automotive manufacturing, bringing a level of mechanical complexity that forces legacy automakers to desperately return to their drawing boards. For our dedicated subscribers watching in the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia, the delayed arrival of this specific vehicle is deeply frustrating, but it serves as a massive, undeniable warning shot regarding the engineering velocity emerging from the East. The absolute manipulation of mass, the flawless synthesis of turbocharged combustion and high-voltage electricity through a 3-speed transmission, and the mastery of thermal and dynamic control make the Lynk Co 900 a defining moment in modern automotive history. As we continue to dissect the remarkable machines that are actively reshaping our roads here on Drive and RPM, this forbidden phantom serves as a spectacular benchmark of exactly what happens when brilliant engineers are given the freedom to completely rewrite the rules of performance.